here. Jeremy Jordan alongside Jason Shepard. Let's go over to the student-athlete building on the Deseret First Credit Union hotline and join Gunnar Romney, fresh off of, 4 hours ago, a early morning workout. Gunnar, what's up, man? How you doing?
Doing pretty good. How you guys doing up there?
We're good. We didn't have to work out at 6 a.m., although Jason does a lot. I do not.
I was there at 5:30, Gunnar. Not the same place you, but look, we're both athletes. We got to do it, right?
You got to put in the work any way you can.
That's right. He's much more of an athlete.
We'll debate the both athletes coming up later in the program. But, Gunnar, tell us what life is like right now, because obviously it's been a month since winter semester ended, yet you guys are still working out, getting ready for the season.
Yeah, we ended spring ball at the end of March. We had a couple weeks off then, but we're back into full workouts right now. We're, like I said, 6 in the morning workouts, offense and defense. Then we have voluntary player run practices, and we're just doing all the off-season work we can with quarterbacks and DBs, and we're getting it in.
Gunnar, obviously the season is going to be here before we know it. One of the cool things is for this season, it was announced on Friday that BYU is going to have full capacity at LaVell Edwards Stadium. What was your reaction when you heard the news that the fans are going to be back at LaVell Edwards?
Oh, I was so excited about it. It's just a different energy when there's fans in the stands. Last year we kind of joke around. It felt like practices, it felt like scrimmages. And with the fans, it just creates so much more energy, so much more momentum. It's just so much more fun to play, and it's such a fun environment. And I can't wait to get back into LaVell Edwards with 65,000 BYU fans screaming. So it's gonna be a good time.
And hey, that first game is game 2 of the year against Utah on September 11th. So that's gonna be a special night, right?
Yeah, no, that was one game that I was really trying to get last year, and I was really, really bummed out when we didn't get to play them. But that's one that we've all had marked on our calendars since the schedule came out, and so we're really excited about that one to play here in front of the home crowd against that team up north.
Nice reference. I like
Love
that,
it.
Gunnar. That's good. Veteran move.
So there are some new faces in the wide receiver room. I'm just curious how that group has started to come along. Give everybody an idea of how you guys are clicking early on and what may be possible for that group this year.
Yeah, no, I think this is a really scary receiver group. We have so much talent. We had a bunch of transfers coming in the Nakua brothers, but I think even like some of the younger talent, they're all stepping up right now. So we're deep right now for sure. There's going to be a lot of guys that are going to be contributors, and there's so many weapons across the field, not just in the receivers and the tight end room too, and we have all the running backs. So there's so many skill players on offense that can do damage, and so I think it's going to be really fun. It's going to be a pretty high-powered offense for sure.
Well, Gunnar, it's really interesting. Obviously, going into last year, there was a lot of question like, oh, look what BYU lost the year before, and then you guys came out and had an unbelievable year. Do you just look for that to continue like it has been? That it's not rebuild, it's about reload. Do you feel like that's where the position is at this point?
Yeah, most definitely. I think even the guys coming back, I think this offseason has been huge for us that have come back. But, some of the younger guys have jumped right in, and, we're not going to skip a beat at all. And I think that's how it's going to be for the next couple of years. We have so many young guys with a lot of talent, even though we'll be losing people. And I think it's just going to keep going. And it's like you said, we're just going to reload. It's not going to be rebuilding.
I mean, even before the Nakua's transfer in, I was feeling pretty good about the group, Gunnar. Obviously, you taking a step forward, getting healthy. If you play all last year, I think it's a fun debate about you and Dax in terms of who's going to have more catches and yards, right? And Dax gets drafted, and it's awesome. But Chase Roberts is off a mission, All-American out of high school. Cody Epps and Keanu Hill are going to get a better look, and Chris Jackson and Cade Moore feels like a guy that's stepping forward. Then the Nakua's come in, and it's like, oh, okay, let's go. We're 2 or 3 people deep at every position. So what's that like right now as you guys work out and try and create cohesion as a group?
Yeah, it's a position where everybody's fighting to get onto the field right now. There's so many people fighting for spots to play, and I think that sometimes can cause a divide. But I think everybody's done a great job of it so far. Just in the player run practices or in the workouts that we've done so far, everybody's done a great job of pushing each other and not really holding those feelings against each other, just kind of making everybody better. Because in the end, it's about the team. It's about winning games. And I think when we have all those weapons that are pushing each other, you feel like if I don't perform, then there's someone right here. It elevates your game to the highest level. And so I'm really excited to see how, as the season progresses, that can go on, as people get more experience in playing time, how that can help us as a receiving group progress.
Let's focus on you individually. Last year took a big step forward. How much more of a step forward do you expect from yourself this season?
I expect myself to take a huge step. The number one thing for me this year is staying healthy. Like you were saying, if I would have played all 12 games last year, it would have been a lot different for me. But just in general, just getting better, getting bigger, faster, stronger, and working on my technique. Watching all my film from last year, seeing what I can do better, seeing the little things that I can improve on. I feel like I've already taken a huge step forward, and I feel like I'm already 10 times better than I was at this point last year. So I'm really excited to see where I am at the start of the season, and I'm really excited to come out and prove some of the things that I have left to prove.
10 times is awesome. I love that idea, and I'm excited to play this season. Last year, Spencer jokingly called you the best receivers between the twos in the country. What's going to be the difference in getting into the end zone this year?
It's just like you were saying. I was 1 yard short so many times, like probably 10 or 15 times last year, and just that extra little bit. I just need this much more, and we'll be there. That's what I'm hoping to work on this year.
So obviously, the quarterback position at BYU is always a topic of discussion, and you have a very unique, view of this whole thing. Obviously, your brother Baylor is involved in it. You played with Jacob Conover in high school. Jaron. This is a very unique quarterback situation for you to watch. Focusing on Baylor first, how is he handling all of this?
Like I was saying earlier in the receiver room, how when you have competition, it sort of elevates everybody. It's the same exact thing going on with the quarterback room. And I think each one of them they're all mature beyond their years. And so every single one of them, it's kind of the same way they're pushing it. And Baylor's, he's a quiet kid, but he's internally competitive. And so you can see him, all of them are just super competitive. All of them want it so bad. And so they're all just working as hard as they can. And, we go out there and we do those workouts with the quarterbacks together, and watching each individual one of them perform in their own way and compete in their own way. It's really fun to watch, and I'm really excited to see how it goes on throughout the summer and then into fall camp and then into the season.
Like, how is it emotionally for you? Is it fun? Is it awkward? Is it great? Because of those connections you already have with those three guys, two of which you've known for a long time, obviously.
Yeah, no, it's not awkward at all. I think, for me, you kind of just have to take personal relationships out of it, because at the end of the day, I want the best quarterback there is throwing me the ball. I mean, I have to be selfish in that way. But watching all three of them compete, it's cool. I'm cool with all of them. They're all three of them I'm really close with, and so I'm excited to see who runs away with it for sure.
How do you? And so are we. How do you take the personal part out of it with your brother?
It's hard. You just kind of have to turn it off and just be selfish, when you're on the field. Like off the field, where we go hang out, we go out to dinner, we do all the brotherly things that you do. But on the field, you have to be selfish about it. You can't let those personal feelings come into play. And I guess it's hard, but you just have to.
How much buddy ball has Aaron Roderick mentioned to you? Because he joked after 2019 when you scored the first brother-to-brother touchdown, hey, that's just buddy ball out there, brothers connecting.
I don't know, not too much, because I'm close with the other two guys as well. Jacob was my quarterback for 2 years in high school, and Jaron, we've been here for 3 years together playing. So it's buddy ball with all three of them at this point.
Hey, there you go.
Well, and look, regardless of who the starting quarterback is, maybe big picture, what is optimal for a receiver in terms of getting that connection from the start of the season? Is there like an optimal time that the rest of the team would like to have that in terms of feeling comfortable, or does it really matter that much because the scheme doesn't necessarily change?
Yeah, I think that's an interesting point for sure, because you want to know who the quarterback is going to be so you can build relationships with them and build that chemistry. But at the same time, you don't want to make the decision too early and call it and maybe pick the wrong guy, or maybe the guy you pick gets complacent or something like that. So I think it is a balance between that. But the scheme, I trust our coaches. Our coach Roderick has a great scheme. He's a genius. He's a football genius, and so I think that will ultimately help out whoever it is. And like I was saying earlier, I have chemistry with all three, and pretty much all the receivers. We work together with all the quarterbacks, and so I don't think it'll be too much of a difference. But like you're saying, it's an interesting balance for sure.
Yeah, I wonder when in fall camp that will be named. It certainly won't be at the beginning. There'd be at least a week, if not two, and then maybe you have 2 or 3 weeks before. I'm not exactly sure. And the coaching staff, I know, hasn't necessarily identified that. Perhaps they know that. But whoever the third string is, they might be the best third string in the country, right?
No question about it, for sure. Any one of these guys can go play at any number of schools in the country.
One of the fun things about, and it's the byproduct of such a fantastic year last year, is BYU was certainly well represented in the NFL draft. Obviously, the number 2 pick is Zach, and we already mentioned the Dax, and you had Kyrus. How much communication have you had with guys like Zach and Dax and those guys that are now living that dream in the National Football League?
I've had a really good amount with almost all of them. That's my goal. That's where I want to be at this point next year. It's just picking their brains about the whole process, just seeing where they're at in their OTAs over there in their spring camps, and just how the whole draft process worked from the time they declared in January to right now. And so I think that's something that I've congratulating with them. Those are my friends. Those are my boys. They'll be my boys for the rest of life. But just at the same time, using them to my advantage and learning about that.
Okay, you come in as a freshman, with Zach Wilson, and I believe his first touchdown pass against Utah State to you. Have you sat back and thought about just how crazy everything has been from him becoming the number 2 pick and being like a $50 millionaire? I mean, this has been insane.
Yeah, no, it's crazy. Because it's always been our goal. Since we both came in as freshmen, we were both talking about this. But even at the beginning of the season, it seemed kind of far out. And then just seeing as the season progressed, him climbing up on draft boards and stuff like that, to him, being projected as the number 2 overall pick and it actually happening, it seems unreal. We're talking about it with our friends, man, that kid that we used to live with, he's the number 2 pick in the NFL. He's playing for the New York Jets right now. It's crazy. It's so exciting though. I love to see all my guys succeed. And so it's super awesome.
Yeah, it's been incredible. Was it strategic to place Jaron Hall and Baylor Romney's, posters behind you in this interview?
I don't know. You gotta ask Brett about that one. I just showed up and they're right behind me right here. I'm looking for my poster, but it's nowhere in sight.
Yeah. Where's yours? No, they look great, man. They look great. What's the schedule like, by the way, the rest of the summer as you lead up to August fall camp?
Oh, it's a grind for sure. Like I was saying, we pretty much have workouts every single day for the rest of summer, and just the most of the work that we do is just on our own individually. We'll call up all the quarterbacks and all the receivers and the DBs. We'll get 1-on-1s and we'll run 7-on-7, and we'll do that for the whole summer, 5 or 6 hours a day. But it's a grind. There's really no time off because the season's going to be here before we even know it. We joke about it every single year. It feels like last season just barely ended, but we're here already. It's going to be here before we know it.
So no plans at all for any getaway for just a couple of days? Any vacations at all?
Didn't you get engaged? Are you getting married?
Yeah, well, I'm getting married this summer, but that's my big plan. But it's still a grind. Even on the honeymoon, I'm gonna be working out and stuff. So we got to do that.
What's her name?
Sadie is her name.
Sadie, congratulations, man. When are you guys getting married?
July 16th is the date, so we're really excited about that.
I look forward to the invite to the reception. Thanks,
of course, I'll send you guys some invites.
No, just me.
Look at Jerem just asking for the invite on national television.
Gunnar, we're stoked for that and the season. Very excited about that receivers room. Good luck on the workout. Stay healthy, and we'll talk to you soon.
Sounds good. Thanks for having me on.
Thank you. That's Gunnar Romney on the Deseret First Credit Union Hotline. Deseret First, you know why, we show how.